last week had some really good comments come back in on pole saws. I'm still working on the outline and getting some of the scripts written up on that. And I hope to, in 2 weeks, I've got a couple days. I'm hoping to get some more video work done and start formulating that the actual program for pole saw training. So I'm looking forward to that. But I really appreciate everybody sending in some ideas and some concepts that they've worked with and all to be able to get this thing together. So the outline's coming together pretty good. Um, Hexa chain, I heard from one of the guys up in Canada that they're expecting their quantities in by the end of May. So that's good word. I did check with my local dealer here, and Heather's Outdoor Power, and she said that they're shipping to her the cut loops, I think 20s and 24 inches, but haven't heard anything yet on the files. But I think Keenan set up Canada, they were expecting the files too by the end of May. So hopefully that's going to start showing up. I guess they're kind of getting the stocks into the distributorships for the fall booking programs, probably starting the end of the summer. So they got to get all of that stuff in place. So hopefully that's the truth, and things are going to start to come together. But anyhow, chain loops are starting to show up anyway. And next week we're going to be in near Thomaston, Georgia. We're doing a coaches class, trainer class for Georgia DOT, and so we head down there Monday, be there Tuesday, Wednesday, and hopefully back in time for Thursday night saws on Thursday. And we will be working with a group that are to carry out the training onto new employees and to kind of make sure everybody's up to date on the use of chainsaws with Georgia DOT. So I'm looking forward to working with that. So anyhow, that's kind of last week and this week, and then also coming up next week. So very fortunate on that. I had some other comments back in on what we talked about last week on the back cut levels, and all good. And a lot of people kind of substantiated some of the concepts of the hinge being the really important part in the felling process, as well as limbing, bucking, and to be able to get that to work, having a notch that's open enough. There's some comments on what we call a deep V or a V notch, and that would be considered an open face. Anything that's over 70 degrees in opening would be considered an open face notch. That allows the tree or stem or whatever, if it becomes disconnected, the center weight of the stem will basically start to disconnect from the stump and come backwards in many cases. And so that open face, the 70 degrees or more, takes it down and doesn't end up with breaking the hinge until the weight gets pretty much to ground level. And so that kind of eliminates the butt rebound situation. And if a tree does hang up, there was some question on that, was that it's important to have the stump shot there, which the stump shot is coming up behind 1 to 2 inches minimum, they say, on the back cut. And there's really nothing wrong with that, other than I have seen situations to where, because of angled fiber between those 2 points, if you raise that back cut too much, you can end up lessening your hinge thickness that you plan to have. And the other thing is that it takes a pretty good diameter tree before it really sets on that stump shot. So it can roll out if it hits something. Whereas if you've got a tree that you've got a hinge on it about 10%, and you've got a 70-degree face notch on there, if it hits another tree and hangs up in between the process of standing to fall on the ground, it's pretty much going to be there. And so I put a lot more confidence in the hinge itself than in a stump shot in many cases. And I've seen that throughout, different training situations across the country with all different types of woods and situations. So, but there's nothing wrong with using the back cut a little higher as long as you understand about the tapered fiber. But if you look from the face notch down, it's very hard. If you do a back cut a couple inches higher, you'll notice that it's always thinner at the bottom of the hinge via the notch. And if you are level, you always have the thickness of hinge that you plan. So if you say I'm going to leave an inch hinge thickness, you'll have an inch thick hinge at the back apex or corner of the notch. If you go up, most likely you're going to have less, because just every tree tapers some amount, so you end up with that taking place. So I just think it's a little bit more predictable to have the back cut level. And plus, if you've got a lot of side weight, that helps to support the tree, having it level, because all you can close is about a 3/8 kerf. Whereas when that tree starts to go forward and you have, say, a 2 or 3 inch stump shot, more or less the whole weight of the tree goes up on those fibers. They've got to go forward and split forward before they can start to pull off. And so that's something that can be somewhat unpredictable with some fibers. So you want to make sure that you kind of think about that. But that just to kind of review that just a little bit, I've got, see what I've got here, if you can see this. The open face notch with a level back cut, so whatever you plan to have will pretty much be there. And then you can see here, this one's over, it's about a 45-degree position, and it's got a 70 to 90 degree face notch on it, so it allows that to go all the way over before the hinge is compromised. When you have a stump shot higher, and basically as the tree goes over, it has to split apart and then go forward. And from the level of the back cut, it'll be thicker at the top and thinner at the bottom. And then the other thing is that hinge can collapse under the weight at that point. Whereas if you've got a level kerf to the face notch, then it basically it can't go over more than about 3/8 of that particular movement, because the kerf will close. So that's kind of the process we talked about last week, and I don't know if you got any other questions or anything, but we have been pretty busy today, so I was just going to check, see if anybody was online, and we can meet again before long. I've got some great videos from the Samaritan's Purse training that we're going to be putting together the next day. I hope to have it out by Saturday night anyway, and so give you some good stuff to look at on that. So been great weather this week, so the videos ought to be pretty good. So anyway, I wanted to get in here and get that done. We haven't even eaten yet, so I want to go ahead and probably cut it off a little bit tonight. I don't see anyone else with any questions or anything, and I will get back to y'all, and if you have any questions on any of this, please let me know. And I hope to see you along the Forest Apps Road, and good sawing all to y'all, and we will talk to you later.